Hello, and welcome to episode 0 of The Late Show. Hey, I'm Allie. They're still letting me run this thing. And this is Brian and Steven.
Hello. Welcome back to the internet.
Welcome back to the internet?
Yeah.
The
For the
internet?
convention.
What?
The
We've been
convention
off
is
the
now
internet for a while,
online.
yeah.
We're on there. We uploaded the whole convention to the internet.
No,
it took
no,
a
we
while.
That's the
Took
app.
a while. Yeah.
Shove.
And if you open your app, it will be updating just now.
Yes, all the updates.
Yes, welcome to the app, which is basically an excuse to use all of your bandwidth
Yes.
right before the convention.
Yep.
So good job.
Better before than
Connect to
during, as
Wi-Fi.
I recall.
Ooh, dear
Yeah, all the data crunching.
So episode 0
yeah.
of The Late Show.
Yes.
Woo! We're going to give you our tips and tricks and fun things to do for the convention based on our various experiences doing this thing for several years.
2 years. I've only been here 2 years.
I doubt that very seriously.
That's totally flying with my co-host, I can tell.
Yeah,
exactly.
only 2 years.
Yeah.
I've only been here 6 months.
Right.
Oh, yeah. What is that in director years?
I believe you aged roughly 5 years for every one when you were director. Yes.
All right, Allie, how do we want to do this thing?
Just
Guide us.
off the rails. Okay.
Rails.
What rails? We don't need rails.
Where we're going, we don't need rails.
Thank you. So what have you guys been up to in the off season?
Oh, dear Lord. So apparently we do things besides DragonCon.
Sometimes.
I am professionally employed in the computer industry and travel roughly once a month. So this year I have, in no particular order, been to Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, Nuremberg, Germany, San Francisco, California, San Jose, California, Chandler, Arizona, Shanghai, Shenzhen, both in China, Hong Kong, which I liked. And 2 weeks after the convention, I'm going to Portland, Oregon, and Folsom, California. I will take them to water. So
You need like one of those old people RV maps on the side of your
Yeah,
suitcase.
I
You
need
can
to-
just fill that in.
I totally need to travel by map because that I think would be a lot more comfortable,
Yes.
and I could get an 80s robot.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be great.
Excellent.
And somewhere in the middle of that, I've been planning a convention. Sort of
In
frightening.
theory,
Yeah. Stephen, have you been doing the science?
I have been doing the science. I actually got to host 3 YouTube episodes for NASA talking about their new space launch system, which will be out, NASA willing, sometime soon. Evidently, they never saw this show, so they went ahead and let me host one of these things.
Is
So
it
that's very
like
exciting.
one of those missions where they tape the episodes in like 2015 and you don't actually get to see them till like 2025?
Yeah, hopefully
okay.
it'll be a little faster than
Okay,
that.
good.
They were talking about, well, what do you think about releasing it over Labor Day weekend? I was like, as long as you don't want me to say anything on social media, because I'll be a little busy.
Just a little bit.
Just a
Oh,
bit.
terrible.
But yes, that was very exciting. They took me and strapped me into the little moonshot ride that they have out at the Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama. And we got down there like, you're up for just about anything. I was like, funny story. It turns out I've been practicing for the last many years
Yeah.
to be up for whatever. It's like, here's a camera. We're going to have you do something. Okay.
Okay, Canberra.
Yes.
I've seen these before.
What about you,
Are
Allie?
you're a professional shipper now, aren't
Yes, I have a professional shipper. I got a new job. Better than my old day job, but we won't talk about that. I am responsible for coordinating logistics for hundreds of thousands of tons of freight all over the world. Most of my stuff is between China and the US, and so now I can tell you all about Chinese customs, which is...
Look, if you're going to break that
okay.
out, I'm going to start talking about the shower, the tile shower I have been building for the last 9 months.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look at this mole.
That's right.
We
If
should-
you follow Steven on social media, you have...
the world's slowest shower construction.
It is.
It's
The
time
shower.
lapse.
So,
But I've also been traveling. I got to check out Emerald City Comic Con on the West Coast. It's really, really awesome show. And kind of surprise, I'm going to be working it next year because I am a sick person.
Sucker.
okay, so are you at the point where you cannot like actually go to cons without suddenly spontaneously working?
First panel I went to at Emerald City, they had tech problems. They had AV problems, and they couldn't find anyone to fix them. And I ran up to the front of the room before I realized what I was doing
You're like, wait a minute.
and fixed everything for them.
So Stephen and I, we're a guest at a convention called GMX in Nashville. years ago when we were doing What the Cast, and I'm going to be a guest. Actually, it's not announced yet, but I'm going to be a guest at GMX. It's over Halloween in Nashville. Should be fun because cosplay will then just sort of be like ordinary streetwear, and it'll be great. But we're doing What the Cast. It's like Sunday morning because that was a great idea.
Oh yes.
And then we show up and there's like no tech at all, and we're like. We've spent the whole weekend like, we're not working, we're having a great time, we can go to the green room and the lounge, we're hanging out with these like Star Trek people, and it's fantastic. And then we're like, we got to do our own tech for our podcast.
Start setting up and hooking up cables.
But the thing is, when you work a convention for so many years, you get to a point where like you don't really know what to do if you're not working.
Yes, you feel like you're slacking off.
And it's like I need to be doing something.
Yes.
I need to be doing something. Why am I just sitting here watching a panel? I should be running board or camera or something. And just I don't know. I guess it's good.
It overlaps professionally because I speak at all these conferences and.
He speaks over at all these conferences.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But I was at Intel Developer Forum last week, and they've got a professional union AV crew and everything. They walk over to like coach you on using the microphone, and I just basically like take the Shure wireless lapel mic, like disconnect the thing, run it down my shirt, and hand the other end to the guy, and he's like, "You've done this before," and I'm like.
This is a weird collection of life skills we have
Yeah,
gathered.
maybe we should talk a little bit about what we do at the convention.
The convention.
What do we do?
This is a show about DragonCon, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So at Emerald
You
City
came here
Comic-Con,
just to listen to us talk about everything else except the convention, right? So, am I
came
up
to
first?
them. Yeah, you can
I'm
go
up
first.
first. I work on videography with this guy, and he put me in charge of the show. So not only am I in front of the camera every morning at the convention, I'm also running around coordinating guests and editing and getting the episodes up on YouTube and everything, and sort of scripting in the mornings. A little bit of scripting.
We totally have a script for this, right?
Yeah,
Sort of.
something.
Fun.
It's totally cue cards back here. Again.
Right.
Yeah.
There's just the guy with like the SNL cue cards. He just threw it down and stomped off.
Yeah, it's just basically 20 cue cards that say dot. That's what we're reading off of right now.
So,
Grr.
all of our stop words.
Steven.
So, I am the science track director, which is why I
Science.
had to wear the science t-shirt today. And that involves working with the guests and pros who are coming in, helping find folks and vet them to be not only scientists, but scientists who can actually talk to people, because there's only so many people, scientists that you want on panels who are going to talk to their shoes or maybe your shoes. We like it if they actually make eye contact and are entertaining. Selecting panels, writing pithy descriptions that are then printed in approximately 2-point font inside the Pocket program. Seriously, the app saves your eyes. As you get older, like me, you may want to be able to, pinch to zoom and read that. And I'm also doing some guest work as well, so that will be being on various panels. I get to talk about science in video games this year, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Yukon has panel.
Yes, I get to talk about Titanfall and Fallouts 1 through 4.
Are you going to talk about Portal?
I need to talk about Portal.
Yes, you need to talk about Portal.
Yes.
I started playing. That's
Conservation
another thing
yes.
I have done in my free time. I've actually started playing Portal. I have joined the modern gaming world a few years behind.
Yeah, that's cool.
We welcome you because Portal is awesome.
Yes. And you could also tell us your many Batman Arkham feels, but that's probably a different day.
No, I started playing Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yes, if
Yeah.
you can't decide what to be Batman.
Yes,
Who
so
put
much
all these
fun.
bombs on these gargoyles?
But I'm a weirdo because the most modern thing I'd played before that was like Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
That's quite the leap forward, Allie.
Yeah, I still have my old Sega Genesis, and I still play stuff on my Commodore. So I'm like finally upgrading to a PS3.
I think you're back in style now because that's totally retro.
Yeah.
So that's good. Well, hi, I'm Brian. I am the director of videography. I'm unfortunately the reason you're watching this. I'm also the executive producer and co-founder of DragonConTV, which apparently is still a thing. So we're doing
Listen to
that.
us all fancy.
I know,
Wow.
fancy with titles and proper buttoning shirts that don't have logos.
I know
on
he
them.
dressed up all nice.
I know, it's
Nope.
weird. I just all the T-shirts. At some point, I was just like, I have a lot of T-shirts. I'm gonna try things with buttons and see how that goes. Plus, it's easier to wire the wireless mic. It's partly practical.
Nice.
But so when before the convention gets started, for many months, I am helping to plan how we get everything going into the 5 hotels. The host hotels have a private channel.
So we do that? Is that?
Yeah.
So that involves going and beating hotels over the head?
We actually have to go and
The whole
coordinate.
hotel.
Yes,
Hotels
all
have
of
this
them.
thing
Whole
called
hotel.
a dark channel. And what I'm really hoping is that when I do the panel at GMX, I'll actually have a chance to talk about how the convention actually works, like behind the scenes.
So
But-
that sounds like a thing on Mr. Robot. It's the dark channel.
Yeah. Oh,
Which surfs the dark net
it
for
sounds,
the dark channel.
It sounds cooler than it actually is. A dark channel basically just a channel that a hotel has and doesn't use unless a convention or event wants to.
Oh.
And most of the time, dark channels are just, here's a DVD player, give us a looping DVD, and we'll run your convention content. We sort of upgraded that to, we run a broadcast center out of one of the hotels, and using all the dark fiber, that's seriously called dark fiber.
It just sounds really creepy.
know,
What are we
it
doing?
What exactly are you streaming over this dark
Yeah.
channel?
Apparently, whatever I want.
Welcome to DragonCon After Dark.
Yes.
Oh, God.
We're
So-
in the dark. It's actually just a black channel.
Yeah.
All you hear are random sounds.
Yeah.
None more black.
None more black. So that is a mixture of live panels, rebroadcast panels from the convention. Big events like the Masquerade happen live. The Parade happens live on that channel. And that is sort of a benefit that we give to the people who manage to survive the hotel games and get their district into their particular hotels. We are adding a new thing this year called DCTV Land, which is classic content. Classic is actually when the content's good. This is just old stuff.
We're
Yes,
old
I
enough
was
to
gonna
have
say.
classic content.
We are.
That's
so,
weird.
Stuff going as far back as 2004.
You can
from
go
the
back and see
convention.
what my hairstyle looked like back there.
That was-
Oh, this is going to be a series of unfortunate hairstyles starring Brian Richardson because I have all of my various like long, short ponytail things going on.
No, when I met him, he had like long flowing hair down to here.
Yeah, and then it turned into a ponytail, which like doesn't really. It was a thing. So you can sort of trace that taxonomy.
So yes, if you ever interview Brian, you need to ask him all the hair questions that normally the female actors get.
Yes. How do you do your makeup, Brian?
In the dark, apparently, on a channel.
One stroke at a time.
Yes.
Hey.
So you'll actually be able to see that as a second channel in the hotel. And depending on if you want to see old stuff or new stuff, then you have your selection.
Yeah, so if you hate all the new stuff, you can go back to the old one when it
And
was
figure out.
entirely green screen.
Yeah, it's all standard definition. So we went 4:3. It's all square. It's nice. It's hip to be square. And we are we're pulling stuff like if the old highlights DVDs we used to make, we're putting those in rotation. Some of the
Excellent.
old costume contest interviews. I interviewed an astronaut once. It was amazing. So all that stuff's going to show up. So that'll be entertaining. And then the music videos and the comedy that we make ahead of time. Shot a lot in this basement, but actually most of our videos this year are not basement based. They're out in the world, and
We've
No
upgraded.
spoilers.
we're still editing our intro for the Masquerade, which is gonna be so good. Witness our intro to the Masquerade. Witness it. Okay. So anyway, that's the thing that I do, kind of.
What are we looking forward to at this convention?
Oh my gosh. So I'm very
the
excited
things?
about a lot of the panels that we're getting to program around science. We're going to be talking about everybody poops.
science.
That's always good. I'm going to make scientists watch clips from movies that have science in them and then explain how that is totally real science. That's going to be fun. And our Solve for X variety show is coming back
for
with
X.
music
So
and
much fun.
comedy and
all the funnies.
and PowerPoint karaoke, which is just as awesome as you would imagine.
If I had free time, I'd totally want to get in on PowerPoint karaoke. But
It's pretty amazing. We're planning on putting out some of the video from last year that the videography folks shot for us, so you can see John Samar talk to his giant wood behind him on the PowerPoint karaoke.
Are we phrasing? Are we still doing phrasing?
It's a
Is this
7-minute
Is
phrasing.
this an all ages show?
No.
Now, everyone in the audience instantly becomes 13 years old, I think is what happens
Yes.
when you go to this show. All right. I am looking forward to, actually, I'm really looking forward to the various Flaro panels. So we
Yay,
get Stephen
Flaro.
Amell and all 18 of his abs.
I'm excited.
We're gonna
Bring your
actually
laundry. You can just
bring your own salmon
Yep.
ladder, because, yeah, that'll be a thing. But that's more of the extended cast. You get
What were you saying?
Alex Kingston.
Alex Kingston. So
Yes.
excited that she's here.
John Barrowman is back, so that should be entertaining. We got the Amell and the Amell. Who else is from Flash?
I should know this.
Yeah, I can't remember the names right now, but
You-
the women
I-
of Flash.
lost me at
Yes.
Stephen Amell's ad.
You're
Sorry.
still back at the
I
salmon
really
ladder.
hope he's not watching this.
Derail
Hi.
this conversation.
How to derail Allie in 5 words or less.
Stephen Amell's Salmon Ladder 4.
There you go.
But also, Sylvester McCoy is going to be back, 7th Doctor.
Excellent.
The man has so much energy. It's
He's-
ridiculous. He's powering parts of Great Britain, just running on a treadmill.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. There was a lot of that, yeah. So,
We have Big Bird.
oh,
We have Big Bird.
Big Bird. We get to open for Big Bird on Friday.
Yes.
So
Very excited.
the current schedule, not totally published, so this is a little bit of a spoiler. The
Oh, oops.
the main Friday morning panel appears to be with the voice actor behind Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch. So
Yes. Carol Spinney.
we're most likely Carol Spinney's opening act. Disappointment, they don't actually bring the Muppets to the shows because it's cumbersome and kind of weird to transport that stuff across
We don't want Big Bird to get injured.
No, or lost on
The
like,
con
Yeah.
that killed Big
you know,
Bird.
or like part of Big Bird doesn't show up because of like a luggage incident, so like only like his body shows up but no head, and like
Big Bird's
somewhere
head is in Chicago.
somewhere on
Because it would happen
somewhere,
in Chicago.
It
somewhere
would
in
happen in
Detroit,
Chicago.
there'd be like this little like luggage carousel with Big Bird's head just going around.
And then we're sued by HBO.
yeah, that's no good.
I should sue them for Game of Thrones.
Hey, hello. Hey, we have some other guests
that
here this year,
crossover
too.
with Sesame Street is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, there's so many ways we can go with that. Let's not go
And
down any of those
okay.
roads.
Yes.
So what else, Allie? What are you looking forward to at DragonCon?
I am looking forward to moderating Kelly Sue DeConnick's Carol Core panel for a 2nd year in a row.
I believe that's DCTV Late Show alumni.
Yes, we had her
Alumni.
on the Late Show last year,
Yes.
and which now I can segue into our guests for this year.
Yes.
We have Matt Fraction, who wrote. I guess. Well, no, it's not the current run anymore. The last run of Hawkeye,
Which is
Hawkeye.
amazing.
which is awesome. Pizza Dog.
Yes. Beats it all for life.
So yeah, we've got Matt Fraction on to talk about Hawkeye and his other comic, Sex Criminals, which that should be a fun, family-friendly morning
9
episode.
a.m.
And
All the phrasing.
we also have
He's before Big Bird?
yes,
Excellent. That's going to be entertaining.
we're professionals.
Yes. Watch the point where we all just sort of go blank and it's like, we sort of edged up to the precipice.
Yeah, no,
We're not
it's
going to
like,
leave that.
And Matt Fraction was like, "This is 9 a.m." So anyway, Saturday we don't have a guest.
because we're broadcasting from the street before the parade. We are the parade pre-show.
Excellent.
Hopefully, it'll go better than last year.
Hey, we were actually live for some of that. That was
Yeah, some of it. Yeah.
good. Sunday.
But Sunday we have Dr. Pamela Gay from the Science Track, which I think, Stephen, you can tell us a little bit about her.
Yes, she is an astronomer. She does science and space outreach. She has a couple of citizen science projects like Zooniverse and what's the current one? CosmoQuest. And she does podcasting and is great.
Yeah.
She's wonderful.
And actually, I believe professional voiceover work.
Yes, she does voiceover work as well.
That is fantastic. And do we have a guest on Monday?
Not yet. I'm in the middle of reaching out to some people, so
Excellent.
Monday is a surprise.
Finalize.
Bonus surprise guest.
Surprise.
It's like the box in Mario, you hit it and out comes a guest.
Yeah. Bring?
Metaphors, I has them.
Wow.
So before we wrap this up, just a little bit of a more serious announcement.
Yes.
We're going to try to be serious.
Yes.
Wanted to talk a little bit about disability services.
DragonCon actually does a very good job about handling disabled guests and disabled members showing up at the convention. So we have an entire group that staffs at registration and one other location you can look up at dragoncon.org. So if you have any kind of disability, you should go consult with them first to make sure you see if you need a disability badge or disability marker on your badge.
Yes, even if you feel like you can just tough it out or whatever. Because I know I had a friend who felt like she could just tough out her issue. She's like, "Oh, I'm always fine at these things." I was like, "No, you need to let them know, and you need to get the badge just so." Just in case something happens. Obviously, we hope that nothing happens, nothing bad happens to you, but just in case they know where to find you, they know what, what they need to do to help you. And so it's as much for the convention staff as it is for
Right.
you. It's so that we can make your convention experience easier.
Yes. And as a PSA for the con attendees who are not disabled, please be aware of folks with that badge. Please be aware that it is not just something that is handed out and that not everybody's disability is visible
Yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not, do not be assuming that people are faking it. Please be mindful. Please be thoughtful. We've talked a lot, for example, about folks in wheelchairs and the difficulty of getting on and off of elevators.
Yes, please, if you are able-bodied, please give up your space on the elevator for a person in a wheelchair.
Yes.
Because they're going to be stuck waiting forever. If you can take the stairs, take the stairs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is generally a faster way to get around
Yeah.
if that's a capability in the hotel. The nice thing about the disability services badges is that they are vetted by the convention. So if somebody has that sticker, and you should go to dragoncon.org, there's a section of the page that talks about this. They have the different classifications of decal. So it's not just a blanket, this person is disabled. There are different ways that we cater to them. And it depends on physical disability, some type of mental, psychological issue. Some people have various phobias that fall into this category. Some people have non-visible disabilities. Some people require service animal. If you have a service animal, please make sure it's registered with the convention. If you see someone with a service animal, do not pet the service animal.
Yes. This is not a pet. This is a working animal.
You would not pet a wheelchair. Don't pet a service animal.
I don't know if it was like a velour wheelchair.
Yeah, but
That would
even
be
then,
awesome.
but you should ask, and bring it up because really I've dealt with actually a lot of actually when I was DJing at a radio station, we had a DJ who was blind and he brought a service animal in, and there was a whole discussion about that because when the animal is working, they are dedicated to the person that they're serving. So if they're petted or given food or something like that, it takes them off of that task, and it actually can be dangerous to the person that they're helping. A lot of service animals are for medical conditions. Diabetics now can have service animals that can sense when the owner is going into diabetic shock. So if you distract them with like tasty foods or petting, they're not paying attention to the person.
There's also
that
like
they're helping.
seizure dogs,
Yes.
and there's also service dogs for people with PTSD.
Yeah.
But usually service dogs will be they'll have a vest on them that's clearly marked that they're a service animal, and a lot of them will say do not pet.
Yes.
And please follow those
Yes.
instructions.
Cosplay is not consent. Service animal is not consent. We're just
Yes.
going to throw those two categories in there. Also, if you are disabled and have a companion, somebody who's a medical helper, I know there's different categories of that. Make sure they are registered with disability services as well, because they can be denied access to areas that you're in based on things like line or room capacity. So there's a possibility if you're not associated with them on the badge that they get in and you don't, and that creates a situation for the person that you're helping out. So all that information is available on the DragonCon website. There is some side information about that in the app. If you have any other questions, they have a location at registration throughout the con and a satellite location that's listed on the website. Cool. So we did serious work.
Wow.
We're a serious show.
We are a serious show.
Woohoo, serious
are
show
we,
is serious.
Are we blood bagging again this year?
Blood bagging, yes, we are blood bagging.
BYO blood bag.
There will be a blood drive
Yay.
at DragonCon again.
Our award-winning blood drive.
Yes, then I think we get more blood donated than San Diego Comic-Con.
By a large amount.
Which is, I love that we are in competition for that. That is a competition I am entirely in
Yes.
favor of.
Yes.
Let us give all of the blood.
Yes.
If you do give blood at DragonCon, make sure to rest and to eat.
Hydrate.
Schedule that.
Because I found out that I can give blood now. I had some issues that were a little. Thought that maybe I couldn't because my blood pressure was too low. And anyway, but now I can. But I won't. I'm not giving blood at the convention because then you wouldn't see me here. You'd be out of it.
Yeah. Allie,
Yes.
go bye-bye.
So yes, rest, hydrate. Alcohol is not hydration.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And realize that if you have less blood in your body, the alcohol will
Yeah.
affect you faster.
Yes.
So just be smart about it. Don't your health is more important. Don't give blood at the expense of your own health.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, we like the competition, but not to the point of actually injuring people or making them ill.
Yeah. Yeah. Cosplaying as undead is okay. Actually becoming dead at the convention,
Yeah.
we kind of frown
Yeah,
upon that.
we don't recommend that.
Yeah. Other serious notes, are you familiar with the badge check policies and the hotel check policies?
The badge check.
Yes.
Tell us about the badge check policy.
So
the
there are
badge.
times, apparently a lot of people go to DragonCon. Last year it was 65,000. We're expecting maybe a few more than that this year. So there are times for the safety of our guests and people who are members that the hotels will limit access, meaning they will say, yeah, unless you have a hotel key or a DragonCon membership with a little badge thingy, you can't get in. And there may be times where they completely shut down the hotel entirely. You have to respect those things. So make sure that you have your hotel room key or your DragonCon badge with you at all times when attending the convention. Normally you don't need it to get into the lobby and the public spaces, but during those badge checks, and those are in the evening, and they can be during the daytime at any point, and that includes immediately after the parade, especially for the Marriott and the Hyatt hotels, because those are the two that take the most influx of people. So just make sure you have those items available and visible, and you'll have a good time. Otherwise, you'll see a lot of the outdoors, and that will be unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because it's Atlanta in the summer. You don't want to be outdoors.
Oh.
The vapors, I tell you. Oh,
Well, that's not vapor. That's the humidity.
and the vapor. Let me bring up another thing. All the hotels have a smoking policy. That includes e-cigarettes. E-cigarettes are considered smoking, and so
You may not
e-cig
vape indoors.
vape outside.
Yes, please be nice to those of us with asthma.
Yeah.
That we appreciate the no vaping indoors, because that's a little aggravating too.
Yeah, I know it's technically just water vapor coming out, but it actually still has some of the chemical traces in it, and people who are sensitive will have asthma attacks, breathing issues, and also a lot of times the staff can't tell the difference between one smoke and another. They're not trained necessarily for nasal input, so just be nice, go outside. It'll be a nice time to go out.
I can get a
Some
smoking
friends,
nose
mingle.
dog. All right, what is it? It's like the bomb sniffers, but a lot less dangerous.
It's like a wine tasting thing. There's a little bit of vanilla in there with a hint of truck stop
Yes.
where I bought this. Did you get this at a Quick
You
Trip?
got the blueberry.
All right.
And on that note,
I think we're down to closing remarks.
closing. Yeah,
Steven.
Rest, please. Look, I was ready. You're not getting me this time, people. Please get some rest before the convention, because I'm guessing if you are like us, you will not get a lot of rest, because DragonCon goes for 24 hours. There is always stuff going on. Even after the official programming has closed, the unofficial programming is still going. So please make sure that your body is ready for it as much as possible. Rest, eat well. The things that we tell you to do during the con, do before the con. Maybe have some roughage. Salads are a great thing. Try the broccoli. It won't kill you.
hydrate.
Yes.
Too, with actual water.
Ooh.
Not soda, not alcohol. Which, we're all gonna do that later anyway. But just actual water. Stay hydrated. It's really, really easy to get dehydrated at the convention because you're going all day, and it's easy to forget. But there's water stations everywhere in the hotels, so avail yourselves of those.
All the O's and double the H's. Be nice. This is a tough thing to remember when you have lugged all of your cosplay and all of your friends into a only 4-person hotel room, snicker, 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 and dealt with the elevators and the stairs and the traffic and the getting the food and standing in the lines and being crowded and being a little bit warm and, taking off your boots and your stormtrooper outfit to dump the sweat out after the parade. It is easy to get aggravated and cranky, especially if you don't rest or hydrate. We are all there to have fun. We are not showing up, the over 2,000 volunteers are not showing up to have a terrible time and put on a terrible show. We want everybody to have fun. Part of that is coming in with the attitude of like, hey, let's all have a good time. And if we all start with that, it's an easier way to have fun during the show.
Yeah.
It also means we're less likely to do stupid things like get in fights, throw things off balconies.
That never happens at
No.
DragonCon.
Have unintended encounters with hotel security and their friends at the Atlanta Police Department. None of this should have happened. We like all these people. We want them to have a great time. That includes you, the viewer at home or on your pocket device. Don't watch this while driving.
Yes, DragonCon is fun.
Yes.
It can also be very stressful.
Yeah.
Recognize that going in and be ready to be a little kinder than you might normally be.
It's the South. Hospitality is the default setting.
Yep.
That's
Look
all
at
I
that.
That's
had.
it.
Yeah.
We're good.
We gave all the tips. We're all good.
See y'all at DragonCon.
All right.
See you at DragonCon.